Greetings to the esteemed members of the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation Internship Committee. My name is Tatiana Serenity James, and I am a third-year criminal justice student from Greenville, South Carolina, currently attending the North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University. Today I stand before you outside North Carolina's Central Prison, where Henry McCullum, a 19-year-old black man, spent 31 years on death row after being wrongfully convicted of the rape and murder of an 11-year-old girl. While McCullum became the longest-serving death row exoneree in North Carolina, his story is not unique, it is a part of a larger pattern. This nation that we coin as the greatest country on earth leads among countries by holding the highest mass incarceration rate per capita. And to take it a step further, black people represent 14% of the population within the U.S., but account for 42% of those represented in prison populations. So this is not just a criminal justice issue, it is a systemic inequity that demands policy-driven solutions. I've always held a deep passion for advocacy and activism within underrepresented communities. However, when I watched the film When They See Us, produced by Ava DuVernay as a young middle schooler, something changed in me. I no longer viewed the justice system as one where individuals were innocent until proven guilty. I no longer felt safe within the very system that is set to protect and serve my community. But most importantly, I felt the urge to respond to a call. This film was a wake-up call to my purpose, and little did I know it was only the beginning. From that point on, I dedicated my life to defending and upholding the values of justice, just as Proverbs 31:9 commands us to be the voice for the helpless. I began with social media organizing, which evolved into direct action during 2020, advocating against police violence and systemic injustice following the deaths of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. I got in the field and put action to my passion, whether that be from my organizing and activism surrounding police accountability or leading marches to combat the stripping of collegiate polling sites within North Carolina. I have dedicated my life to the fight. However, through this work, I've learned an important truth. Advocacy alone is not enough. Policy is what creates lasting change. So I want to further fuel that fight by working alongside the profound policymakers of the CBCF. Policy is how we gradually work to dismantle systemic barriers that are deeply rooted within our communities. So that is the first reason I am applying to the CBCF internship, to transform my advocacy into policy impact. I want to understand how legislation is drafted, analyzed, and implemented to address wrongful convictions and mass incarceration. The second reason is to gain firsthand experience, working alongside policymakers such as Cory Booker, Ayanna Pressley, and Yvette Clarke, who have worked directly to propose policies surrounding criminal justice reform, will provide invaluable insight into how policy is shaped at the federal level, particularly through initiatives like the CBC Criminal Justice Task Force. With this knowledge, I plan to return to my HBCU campus and create spaces where students not only engage in field advocacy, but also understand the legislative process behind real reform. Too often, students believe the work ends with awareness, but true change requires policy. I am deeply appreciative for the opportunity to be considered for this prestigious and well-achieving program and hope for the extended opportunity to be an addition to the upcoming cohort full of empowered HBCU students from across the nation. Thank you for your time and consideration.